All right, picture this with me. November 25th, 1177. The desert hills south of Jerusalem. And Saladin, yes, the Saladin, the man who's about to become an absolute legend, is marching north with an army so massive, so overconfident, that his soldiers have already started breaking formation to raid villages, steal livestock, and torch fields. I mean, why wouldn't they? They think the Crusaders are absolutely done, hiding behind their castle walls like scared rabbits. And then, out of literally nowhere, a force of barely 500 knights, led by a 16-year-old king who is actively dying of leprosy, comes screaming out of the desert and slams into them like a medieval freight train. What happens next is one of the most one-sided, brutal, and completely misunderstood victories in all of history. Let me rewind the clock for you. Set the scene properly. It's 1177. The Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem is barely hanging on by its fingernails. And I mean barely. Look at a map of the region with me for a second. This kingdom they're trying to defend, it's basically just a narrow strip of coastal cities and fortresses squeezed between the Mediterranean Sea and a very hostile interior. You've got Acre up north, Jaffa on the coast, Jerusalem sitting there in the middle, and that's kind of it. That's the whole kingdom. Real estate agents would call it cozy and intimate. Historians call it strategically screwed. Because here's the problem, they're completely surrounded. To the south, you've got Egypt. To the north and east, Muslim-controlled Syria. The Crusaders are outnumbered, out-resourced, and constantly under pressure from this massive, unified force led by one man, Saladin. Salah ad-Din Yusuf ibn Ayyub. Born in Tikrit, rose to power in Egypt, and now he's the Sultan of both Egypt and Syria. This guy has spent the last several years consolidating power, eliminating rivals, building alliances. And his goal? Crystal clear. Unite the entire Muslim world under his banner and push every single crusader into the sea. By 1177, he's ready. He's about to make his move. But there is one little issue with Saladin's Genghis Khan-styled plan. Because meet Baldwin, aka the most badass teenager in history. He is the king of Jerusalem and is a 16-year-old boy. But he is dying. Baldwin has leprosy. Not the kind you recover from with medieval medicine. I mean, let's be real, there is no recovering from it. This is the kind that's a death sentence. His face is already disfigured. His hands are starting to lose feeling. The disease is eating him alive from the inside out. He's got maybe 10 years left if he's lucky. Most historians think he won't make it past 25. But here's the thing about Baldwin that absolutely fascinates me. This kid is sharp, like scary sharp. He's been educated by the best tutors in the kingdom. He understands tactics, strategy, politics. He can read people. He can make hard decisions under pressure. And most importantly, he absolutely refuses to let his kingdom crumble while he's still breathing. His right-hand men? The Knights Templar. These are the elite warrior monks who've literally made it their life's mission to defend the Holy Land. We're talking about guys like Odo de Saint-Amand, the Grand Master of the Order. Hardened veterans, battle-scarred, loyal to the death, probably terrible at small talk. These are the men standing between Saladin and Jerusalem, a dying teenage king and a handful of warrior monks. So in late November 1177, Saladin crosses into Crusader territory from Egypt. He's moving north with his army, planning to put pressure on Jerusalem, maybe besiege a fortress or two, show the Crusaders that they're vulnerable. Standard military intimidation tactics, you know. But here's where things start going wrong. His army is feeling really good about themselves. Too good, actually. They start getting relaxed, spreading out, breaking formation to raid nearby villages, grabbing supplies, foraging for food. You know, casual medieval campaign stuff. Except it's also incredibly dangerous if your enemy can move fast and hit you while you're scattered. And Saladin? He doesn't think the enemy can move fast. He thinks Baldwin's forces are scattered across the kingdom, weak, probably holed up in Jerusalem waiting for reinforcements from Europe that aren't coming. He's catastrophically wrong. Because Baldwin gets word that Saladin has crossed into Crusader territory, and this kid makes a decision that's either brilliant or completely insane, depending on how it turns out. He doesn't wait to gather a massive army. He doesn't send messages to every lord and knight in the kingdom, asking them to pretty please show up whenever they feel like it. He grabs whoever's nearby, his household knights, the Templars, anyone who can mount a horse, and he moves. We're talking a forced march here. No baggage train slowing them down, minimal supplies, just pure speed. Because Baldwin understands something that Saladin hasn't figured out yet. If you can hit a bigger army before it's ready, while it's still spread out and overconfident, you can break it. Imagine you're a soldier in Saladin's army for a second. It's late afternoon. The sun is starting to get low in the sky. You and your buddies have had a pretty good day, raided a village, grabbed some supplies, maybe found some decent food. You're sitting around the camp, relaxing, maybe making some tea. Life is good. And then someone points at the horizon. What is that? For just a heartbeat, Saladin's men don't understand what they're seeing. Those shapes in the distance, are those knights? And then the ground begins to shake. It starts as this low rumble, a vibration you feel in your chest before you actually hear it. Then it builds and builds and builds. Thunder! Not the thunder of a storm, something more primal than that, more terrifying. The thunder of 1,000 iron-shod hooves hammering the desert earth at full gallop. The Crusader cavalry comes down that hill like an avalanche wrapped in steel and fury, lances leveled, shields locked, formation tight as a fist. And they are not slowing down. Inside Saladin's camp, absolute chaos erupts. Soldiers are scrambling for weapons they left leaning against trees. Officers are screaming orders that nobody can hear over the growing roar of hoofbeats. Men are tripping over tent ropes, colliding with each other, staring in frozen horror at this wall of armored death bearing down on them. Form up! Form the line! But there's no time. There's no space. You can't exactly pull a defensive formation out of thin air when you're scattered across half a mile of open ground, trying to remember where you left your sword. And the Crusaders? They give them no mercy, no warning, no chance whatsoever. The collision is apocalyptic. Let me paint this picture for you. Imagine a war horse at full gallop, 1,400 pounds of pure muscle and momentum, bred for generations to charge into battle without flinching. On its back, 200 pounds of night, another 60 pounds of armor and weapons, and a 12-foot lance designed specifically to punch through shields, chainmail, flesh, and bone. Now multiply that by 500, all hitting the same point at the same moment. The front ranks of Saladin's army don't just fall, they disintegrate. Lances are shattering through shields with this horrible splintering sound. Men are being lifted completely off their feet and thrown backward like rag dolls. Horses are trampling everything in their path. The screaming starts, this sharp, primal sound of men who know they're about to die. And behind the first wave of knights, the second wave hits, then the third, then the fourth. It's not a battle, it's an execution. And you know who's riding at the absolute front of this charge? Baldwin himself. His white horse, which was actually a gift from the Byzantine emperor, because apparently royal gift-giving was way cooler back then, is cutting through the chaos like a blade through silk. His sword is already slick with blood. His diseased hands might be weak, but his arm is still strong enough to kill. And around him, the Templars are in their element. These men don't break formation. They don't panic. They don't hesitate. They don't stop. They move like a machine that was designed for exactly one purpose: to destroy everything in front of them. Odo de Saint-Amand is fighting like a man possessed. His sword rises and falls with this mechanical precision. No wasted movement, no hesitation. Every single strike is a kill. A Mamluk warrior charges at him with a spear. Odo deflects it with his shield, closes the distance in one fluid motion, and drives his blade straight through the man's throat. The body hasn't even hit the ground before he's already moving to the next target. This is what the Templars were built for. This is what they've been training for their entire lives. This is what they've been waiting for. And they're making every second count. And then there comes the collapse. It starts small. One man drops his weapon and runs. Then two, then 10. It's a flood. Saladin's soldiers break, not because they're cowards, they're absolutely not, but because they're human. And no human being can stand firm when 1,000 tons of armored cavalry is carving through their ranks like a scythe through wheat. The camp becomes a complete killing ground. Tents are being trampled. Supply wagons are overturned. Fires are breaking out as cook fires get scattered. Men are slipping in blood and mud, crawling over the bodies of their comrades, screaming for help that isn't coming. Crusader knights are pursuing fleeing soldiers with cold, professional efficiency. There's no rage here, no wild fury. Just the grim, methodical work of finishing what they started. Some of Saladin's men try to rally. Officers are screaming themselves hoarse, trying to form defensive clusters. Here and there, small groups manage to hold together for a few precious seconds. It doesn't matter. The Crusaders roll over them like a wave over sandcastles. And somewhere in the absolute center of this nightmare, Saladin is fighting for his life. His bodyguards form a tight circle around him. Mamluks, elite slave soldiers, literally the best warriors in his entire army. They're fighting with the desperate fury of men who know their master's life depends on them. For a moment, they hold. A Crusader knight charges straight at Saladin. One of the Mamluks intercepts, blocking the lance with his shield. The impact shatters the shield and breaks the Mamluk's arm, but he doesn't fall. He slashes upward with his sword, catching the knight's horse right in the neck. The horse screams and rears, throwing its rider. Another Mamluk is on him instantly, driving a dagger through the gap in his armor. But they're losing ground, step by step, body by body. The circle is getting smaller. And Saladin's face, normally so composed, so controlled, so confident, shows something rare. Fear. Not fear for his cause, not fear for his army, fear for his life. "Get him out!" one of his commanders roars. "Get him out now!" They grab Saladin's reins and physically pull him away from the fighting, drag him backward. His horse is stumbling over corpses, struggling through the press of fleeing men. Behind them, the Mamluks hold the line. 10 more seconds, 20, 30, and then they die. Every single one. But it's enough. Saladin escapes into the chaos, surrounded by maybe the last handful of men still loyal enough or terrified enough to stay with him. The battle doesn't really end. It just transforms. What was a fight becomes a hunt. Crusader cavalry fans out across the desert, chasing down stragglers. Some of Saladin's men throw down their weapons and beg for mercy. Some get it. Most don't. The Templars don't take prisoners. It's not cruelty. It's literally their doctrine. They're warrior monks fighting what they genuinely believe is a holy war. Mercy is for God to grant, not them. They're on a very different performance review system. Bodies are littering the ground for miles. The sand has turned dark with blood. Scavenger birds are already starting to circle overhead. And back at what used to be Saladin's camp, Baldwin sits on his horse, breathing hard, surveying the absolute devastation around him. His sword is red to the hilt. His armor is dented and scratched and covered in dust. His face, what's left of it beneath the disease, shows exhaustion, relief, and something else. Triumph. Not the arrogant triumph of a conqueror, the quiet, grim satisfaction of a man who bet absolutely everything on a single moment. And won. Odo de Saint-Amand rides up beside him. His white Templar mantle is now more brown than white, absolutely soaked with dust and blood. "Your Majesty," he says, his voice hoarse. "It's done." Baldwin nods slowly. Praise God. By nightfall, the field belongs entirely to the Crusaders. Saladin's army, what's left of it, is scattered to the four winds. Thousands dead. Thousands more wandering the desert, leaderless, broken, trying to find their way home. The supply train is captured. The camp is ashes. The entire invasion force is just gone. And Saladin himself is riding through the night with maybe 20 men, heading back toward Egypt with his tail between his legs, his reputation in tatters, his confidence completely shattered. Probably having the most awkward horseback ride of his entire life. He will rebuild. He will return. He will eventually win major victories. But not today. Today belongs to a 16-year-old boy who refused to die quietly. Today belongs to Baldwin.